The world is flat, and all scream it aloud, in the face of deception. The world is flat, and all scream it aloud, in the face of deception.
No lover that knows what you mean. You get lost living in doubt your dreams. Everyone is bursting at the seams, but it's good enough for you. Oh, baby, is it good enough for you? I walked into the jungle, walked out with my flesh. All my clothes are gone and only I was left. I saw you sipping tea at the cafe across the street. You took my hand and wouldn't let me speak, but baby, is that good enough for you? Oh, baby, is that good enough for you? Oh, baby, is that good enough for you? Oh, baby, is that good enough for you? Yeah, give you $5 and if you give them 10, take you out to dinner, baby, after they already met. Get you a new car that done been wrecked. Play the game and ask you for a bet. I said, oh, baby, is that good enough for you? 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 No sugar for your coffee, no coffee for your cream. No lover that knows what you really mean. You get lost living in and out your dreams. Everyone you know is bursting at the seams. Oh, is it good enough for you? Oh, baby, is it good enough for you? Oh, baby, is that good enough for you? Oh, baby, is that good enough for you? 'Cause the sun, it's totally tangible. You could get there if you really wanted to. The sun is totally tangible. You could get there if you really wanted to, but you don't want to. You just wanna come online and complain, 'cause things don't seem like that way that they say, yeah, but the sun is totally tangible. It's what they say, so I believe them. Why don't you? The sun, it's like totally tangible. You could get there if you really wanted to. Sure to join the military with designs on going into the Air Force, so you could join NASA, become an astronaut. 'Cause anyone can be an astronaut. Anyone, 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 anyone.
We can all be an astronaut. I ask you why not? We can be an astronaut. Everyone's doing the space, why not? Party on the moon. It's gonna be real soon. Party on the moon. It's gonna be real soon. So small, I can see so many miles all through the space, like the billions of things. There's these astronauts hanging out in space, traveling out to 90,000 miles down your face. See them when I look on my computer. It's like reading a book. Every time I can see in the sky, there's another astronaut to say hi. Speeding through all of the space. It seems like I don't really have much time to waste, because everything is gonna end one day. I came from a monkey, that's what they say. Yeah, I wanna go to the moon. Everyone can be an astronaut real soon. Yeah, I wanna go to the moon. Everyone's gonna be an astronaut real soon. Be an astronaut real soon. Gonna be a party on the moon. Party on the moon. Gonna be a big party on the moon. Real soon. Everyone's an astronaut. We're gonna go to space. Everyone knows that it's all gonna be.
Planetary lineup for our following shows so that you can see how Mercury fits into the picture.
To the running of their homes.
Welcome to our home. We do not embrace the public school system at all. So this offends me a lot.
I am a teacher now, education, and control.
We believe the earth is flat. We also believe that 9/11 didn't happen the way we've been told, and that humans have never been to the moon or traveled space, despite all the books.
I can care less for hugs or kisses. Oh.
After being here for a while, I've noticed that we're lacking a bit of
We're doing all those chores that I did growing up as well. So we
Question everything. Just because someone tells you that, the earth is round, is there a theory that the earth may be flat? Is there a theory that the earth may be flat? May be flat, may be flat, may be flat. May be flat.
Are you serious?
May be flat.
I mean, like, is this for real? Am I in the dreamland?
May be flat.
Attended something called the Flat Earth. It's the Earth is flat, whether it's OJ didn't really do it, whether it's we didn't land on the moon. Flat Earth, it's the Earth is flat, whether it's OJ didn't really do it. It's the Earth is flat, whether it's we didn't land on the moon, whether it's we didn't land on the moon. It's the Earth is flat.
Like a space station, you're more like a PlayStation. That looked like PS1. How are we having this conversation? Come back to some globe proof. Start telling the whole truth. We know what you're going to do. Go back to your globe, dude. I'm flat smacking, I'm straight packing them with facts. Get them clues to the next NASA astronauts astronomically while simultaneously maintaining rhythm and harmony. The Illuminati is definitely onto me, but they can't do no harm to me. It's a bit like Animal Farm, see? All a false dichotomy while their secret society maintains privacy. So there's nothing for your eyes to see except for their complete lack of honesty. Honestly, I'm sick of this hierarchy. Your secrets ain't safe with me. Stop the malarkey before you get your car key. MIDIHC, Brooklyn.
Dinosaurs really not.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
Tyrannosaurus
DNA.
Rex is
Yeah.
a giant kangaroo. That's what it is.
Well, Eddie, it is.
Okay.
It is.
Like, is that real?
But so, Eddie, what do you don't think that like T-Rexes are real? Do you really?
When you I went full flat Earth on them. Show me a real picture. Show me a real picture.
Listen, NASA does not have one of those satellites.
Fake.
Why do you think that's fake?
It
looks real.
If that's real to you, man, shit.
You don't think it's real?
They faked 6 moon
Eddie, dude,
landings.
stop saying that because it's irrelevant.
It was all radio, TV, and the movies
Do you remember?
have always been about propaganda. Always in every country. It's nothing new. It's old school gangsters. Our country is the most
What does this have
gangster.
to do with? What does this have to do with the world being
No,
flat?
this is
Scientists.
look into it. Look into it, man.
But Eddie, I have looked into it. Look, these
Dinosaurs
all
are for kids.
Look, this is you could go over these different
That looks
sections
so fake.
of the Earth.
That looks
yeah,
so
well, you can
fake.
look at the next one that comes 10 minutes later. Maybe you won't think that one's fake. Like, oh wow, that one's kind of
It
real.
looks all fake.
It doesn't look fake. It does make these fake pictures of the Earth. Don't you think that would be
You
like
know,
a
we could
risky
speculate.
thing?
You want to speculate? I mean, I could
Sure.
speculate.
I wanna
don't
hear
know.
you speculate.
It's easier to control people when they're on a ball.
I've been trying to tell people that forever.
I don't know land people going to want to. There's actually more land. Shit.
What do you mean? There's more land.
Who knows? If you If you
like the
yeah,
world's
exactly.
Like
That's
what are you talking about? I don't understand what you're talking about. Like more land.
You're saying if the world is flat and the flat Earth model is true, what's the point of it? What's the point of?
So all the math is fake. Like that the Earth is going 24 hours in a circle. Is that all fake? That it spins, it's going 1,000 miles an hour.
I don't. When you look into it,
corkscrew.
we're stationary. They haven't proved. There's if you look into the experiments. If you look into the experiments to prove that the Earth is spinning, all of them failed. Look into it.
What are you scientists?
Look into it. Look into it, man.
But Eddie,
Ain't nothing flat about it.
Try new Cajun Spice Ruffles brand potato chips with a feisty, spicy bite in every crunch. It's the new taste that won't leave you flat.
Oh, boy, they want us our guarantee.
NASA and somebody finally made his first trip into space. Houston, we're totally awesome. It may have just been a simulator, but the feeling was real.
Friends, in this short upload, I would just like to bring your attention, as Admiral Byrd says in this infamous interview that seems to be very hard to find now for some reason. He doesn't seem to be mentioned much either by the mainstream media, and he really was a pioneer for what he accomplished here on the plane. But word for word, an area as big as the USA never been seen by another human being. Beyond the pole, on the other side of the South Pole. What did that even mean? Now, then he says, interestingly, from Middle America. Now, isn't that from right here? So that puts the hidden land right there. And if at the time they were in the 40s, 50s, were using their globe coordinates, then isn't that there? Yet he is sat right here with the AE map behind him. So if Middle America is there, and they went there, then so what in the Lord's name is right here? And if it goes through the definition of land, water, land, water, land, water, land, water, then well, maybe the hidden land is right here, and why this border is so heavily guarded, and nobody's going to ever be able to venture past a line that is military guarded. So maybe that answers some of the questions that you may have thought about this hidden land. God bless you all here on the earth. Created earth.
I will throw out their theories, like stones in my path, but I'll keep on marching, with unwavering wrath. Through oceans and deserts, I already know the truth, in a world that's so flat, I'll stand. The world is flat, and I'll scream it aloud, in the face of deception, I'll stand still with a fearless spirit, I'll break through the lies, in this flat earth crusade.
Brain blast. This is not real. Gang, baby.
Black game all the way. That's flat. Getting stuff, looking at stuff, and black game all the way. Yeah. Keep it flat. Keep it flat. Getting stuff, looking at stuff, and
he has been cloned. A little short guy with the funny mustache, about yay tall. He realized that the flat Earth model was correct and went to seize the gate of the South in what we call Antarctica, a place called New Berlin, Antarctica.
Gets you thinking, right? So, like, what are you really seeing? Is it an image? Because images can be Photoshop, right? That's what really gets you going, and then you kind of go from there, man.
He's got the word is flat on his forehead.
understand you flew here from Sacramento, so were you able to confirm that the Earth is flat on that airplane?
It did look flat out of my window, but I wasn't able to measure it.
You measured it?
No, I have actually done that, though. I've taken getting stuff, looking at stuff, and getting stuff, looking at stuff, and...
Just to let you know, we have clearance from the FAA for a drop, and our intent is to drop you when we get to floats. This is flight. We're going to go ahead and do a release now.
Just my speech, strand you! 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 Go! Pass all the laws you want, and we don't pay!
Free speech. It's the thing everyone thinks they value until they hear something they don't like.
Admiral Richard Byrd explored more uncharted land than any other man in history. Continent or a distant ocean that lures adventurers like Richard Byrd.
Earth is flat.
But space is fake.
That's why I know we haven't been to the moon.
They talk about the flat Earth.
When everyone thought the world was flat, the world was flat, the world was flat, the world was flat.
And I got a job in research.
The world was flat.
How do we know the Earth is not flat?
We don't. It's flat.
That stuff is flat. And then I showed examples of wide-angle lenses curving horizontal. I tweeted that.
You did.
But I don't want to be a spoiled, curmudgeon or anything.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let it go for a second. There. Thank you. That's why I know we haven't been to the moon.
Generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go. There's no place to throw your trash. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe not you, but your kids develop ways to mine our landfills. We throw away so much valuable stuff right now, especially raw materials. I may be wrong, of course. I always may be wrong. I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system.
That's pretty complicated.
Hope I haven't oversimplified the problem. What?
The Earth is flat.
And start the revolution.
To be. Double guarantee that too.
Well, don't we feel foolish?
If you look into the experiments to prove that the Earth is spinning, all of them fail.
I go to the moon in a nanosecond, but unfortunately we destroyed the technology, and it's a painful process to build it up again, so
If you believe they put a man on the moon.
Is that true?
What? The Earth is flat.
To start, press any key. Where's the any key?
That just gets us ready to go, and we want to be healthy, of course, and especially when you're going for these 6 to 7.
I think we should go with a good old-fashioned public health scare.
A new disease. No one's immune. It's like the summer of the shark, except instead of a shark, it's an epidemic. And instead of summer, it's all the time.
Come up with the next phony baloney crisis to put Americans back where they belong.
A one world government. Once you go flat, you never go back. Ladder. Once you go flat, you never go back. Ladder. Look into it. Once you go flat, you never go back. Ladder. Once you go flat, you never go back. Ladder. Look into it.
If the Earth was flat, don't you think cats would have already pushed everything off of it by now?
So if the Earth is flat, don't you think cats would have already pushed everything off of it by now?
The person who sent you this wants to remind you that the government is lying to us. The Earth is not a globe. It is also not flat. The Earth is a cat.
If the Earth was flat, don't you think cats would have already pushed everything off of it by now? Checkmate.
What was that, man? What the hell was that?
Freestyler, rock the microphone, straight from the top of my dome. Freestyler, rock the microphone, carry on with the freestyler. I got the throw on and go on, you know what that's the flow on. Select us on the radio, play us from ozone, but that's not also, hold on. I as a rock your mic, right? Oh, excuse me, pardon, that's a synchronize. So with the analyze, stop coming right in the session. Let there be a lesson question. You carry protection, now with your heart for war, like Celine Dion. Come on, chameleon, yeah. Straight from the top of my dome, as a rock the microphone, yeah. Straight from the top of my dome, as a rock the microphone, yeah. Straight from the top of my dome, as a rock the microphone, yeah. Straight from the top of my dome, as a rock the microphone. Styles, kilos, we bring many kilos, so you can get yours from nefarious, ambitious, nutritious, delicious, delivery is the vicious. Just tell us, we deliver anything from Rockefellers to propellers. Suckers get jealous, but the super fast smellers. You know they can handle us like them big as dollars. Here we come scandalous, so who the fuck is selling? Ship them back in the palace. Yeah, straight from the top of a dome. As the rock microphone. Yeah, straight from the top of a dome. As the rock microphone. Yeah, straight from the top of a dome. As the rock microphone. Yeah, straight from the top of a dome. As the rock microphone. Freestyler, rock the microphone, straight from the top of my dome. Freestyler, rock the microphone, carry on with the freestyler. Yeah, straight from the top of the dome. As the rock the microphone. Yeah, straight from the top of the dome. As the rock the microphone. Yeah, straight from the top of the dome. As the rock the microphone. Yeah, straight from the top of the dome. As the rock the microphone.
Now we're okay here.
Andre, you realize that in addition to fluoridating water, well, there are studies underway to fluoridate salt, flour, fruit juices, soup, sugar, milk, ice cream. Ice cream, Andre? Children's ice cream? You know when fluoridation first began?
No, I don't get that.
1946. 1946, Andre. How does that coincide with your post-war commie conspiracy? It's incredibly obvious, isn't it? A foreign substance is introduced into our precious bodily fluids without the knowledge of the individual, certainly without any choice. That's the way your hardcore commie works.
Jack, listen, tell me, Jack, when did you first become, well, develop this theory?
Well, I first became aware of it in Mandrake. Of emptiness followed. Loss of essence. I was able to interpret. I can assure you it has not recurred, Mandrake.
But how do we know the Earth is not flat?
We don't. It's flat. That whole area is called the Mediterranean. Well, Mediterranean translates to Middle Earth. The people lived there were sure they were in the middle of the Earth. That can only be true if you think Earth is flat. Well, we have many lines of evidence to show that Earth is round, including Apollo photos of the round Earth.
If you want to get into it, the Earth isn't quite a sphere. It's a little bleh. Its spin is a little bleh, stretched it, made it slightly oblate.
So it's not actually a sphere. 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 It's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it.
And you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club.
The world is flat. And it's a conspiracy of scientists and others who published these pictures where the world was round.
The world is flat. And if it's a conspiracy of scientists and others who publish these pictures.
Really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go. There's no place to throw your trash. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe not you, but your kids develop ways to mine our landfills. We throw away so much valuable stuff right now, especially raw materials. I may be wrong, of course. I always may be wrong.
Yes, my world map is so old it still shows the Earth is flat.
I don't want to fool you here. Last month, for the first time since 1972, NASA released a blue marble, a single snapshot of the Earth taken from outer space. And so much has changed in the decades between that first picture and the second.
In 2002, Blue Marble 2.0, NASA's Rob Simon made this. And it had wide appeal too. For example, it ended up as the default background on the iPhone.
I didn't even know until I bought an iPhone and turned it on and kind of did a little happy dance.
Simon's job is...
It's primarily taking data and making pictures out of it.
That's what this is, a composite of data sets from several different instruments translated into a picture.
To us, the really cool thing was the data set. Up until that point, there was no realistic color map of the globe anywhere.
So the land layer here comes from
the Moderate Resolution Imaging Spectroradiometer aboard Terra.
And the tricky part here was the weather.
So we actually had to take clouds out.
They stashed the clouds for later, went onto the ocean. That came from an instrument that measures phytoplankton in the sea.
Where it was low, I colored it dark blue because they're low mostly in mid-oceans. And then where it's a little bit higher, it was like a little bit brighter green.
Then add the clouds back in.
There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit.
So some of those are painted on.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Then
there was another layer to sort of simulate the atmosphere.
And then there's this little bright spot.
It's called the specular highlight. So it's the reflection of sunlight off of water.
Those are the pieces, but you can't just slap them all together.
It just didn't look realistic. It looks kind of flat, or the clouds are sort of too see-through. So I just hit Command Z a lot.
There's artistry to creating the world.
What I imagine it to be. Unfortunately, I'm not an astronaut. I've never been to space. But I've looked at these images over and over again, trying to sort of get the essence of it. It is photoshopped, but it's has to.
Bean sprouts?
Here's another typical situation.
The world is flat, and I'll scream it aloud. In the face of deception, I'll stand still with a fearless spirit. I'll break through the lies, in this flat earth crusade, 'neath the endless skies. They'll call me a heretic, they'll call me lame, but I'll scream from the rooftops, I'll stake my own claim. In this world so distorted, where lies are the norm, I'll ride this conviction through too. I will throw out their theories, like stones in my path, but I'll keep on marching, with unwavering wrath. Through oceans and deserts, I already know the truth, in a world that's so flat, I'll stand.
More serious disfigurements require more drastic measures, such as full body robe and cloak,
black cat is on the field. The first touch is exceptional. The movement is outstanding. The black cat lies through. Brilliant! Brilliant goal!
That stuff is flat. 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 That stuff is flat.
So you wrote The World is Flat. When was that?
2005 it came out, yeah.
Well, it changed. I mean, you said at the time that the world was flat.
I came along and gave it a name. I said, it feels like the world is flat. Gone from flat to fast to deep. Stuff happens and they're triggered now by baby. So from flat, and I think that's roughly where we're going, from flat, and you want propulsion. You want to be able to move ahead in the world. You want to be hiding under the chairs, be saying, James, come out, the climate change is over, okay? Got that back and thought about that, and I said, who can I interview? And then I realized I knew this woman. She was 3.8 billion years old. Wherever I see a blank spot in nature, I fill it with a plant or animal perfectly adapted to that niche. With the general, sort of highbrow, the editor said, third, she said, I'm incredibly, the world is flat.
And that's all, folks.